Your book, your story, your journey. Rightcoach.ie.
So, good evening everybody, and thanks for coming to the Cork book launch of The Power of the Written Word by Carl.J, myself, and some amazing guest speakers that have given up their time to come along this evening and share some insights with us. The full title of the book is Your Power to Heal Through Writing, and the core message throughout the book is that every single one of us has a story to tell, has a story to share, no matter what our background, whether great, whether humble, we all have a story to share. And part of the work I do as Right Coach Ireland is I have the privilege and the pleasure to work with some amazing people around the world who have plucked up the courage to tell that story, dipping into a lot of things that they maybe didn't want to look at first. And so the things that you can expect that come up when you do commit to wanting to tell the story of your journey, I've managed to capture in some way a little guide in the book to prepare people or to help them with what to expect. And these issues that come up include self-sabotage, procrastination, imposter syndrome, and I've had to, and still do, suffer and deal with these things as they come up and come along. My first book took me 4 years because I procrastinated endlessly, unlike this one, which took me 4 months. So you could say there's been some progress there. So every single one of us has the power or the capacity to create the reality of our experience and create the world that we live in every day. And somehow that message wasn't communicated to us as children. So a lot of us may have grown up with the idea that we weren't good enough or we didn't feel like we were enough, and me too, right? That happened to me. My parents, they were lovely people, they weren't bad people, but I happened to grow up with this idea, who do you think you are? You know, and this being spoken down to and just assuming that it doesn't rain, it pours, life's a bitch, then you marry one, then you die. This was the prevailing mentality and the gallows humour, you know? So overcoming those obstacles and looking at where we've come from, where we're going and who we are, naturally brings up issues like personal identity. Who are we? And what are we carrying with us? And what can we actually let go of that we don't need anymore? And so, in a very real sense, writing your own book gets you to look at your stuff, and in a lot of ways you can start to let some of that stuff go, whether it's ideas about yourself, ideas about others, family trauma, childhood trauma, multi-generational family trauma, even past life trauma. Goodness knows what can come up for each and every single one of us once we start to look at our story and our journey. And it's a very powerful process. For me, this book is written more as a guide to help others, but the first 3 books that I wrote were very much my own catharsis and my own healing through getting stuff off my chest and writing about what I'd been through. And a lot of what I'd been through included addictions, depression, codependency, being in relationships that didn't benefit me. And underlying all of these issues at the core was this lack of self-love that I just picked up along the way from childhood onwards. And so that was one of the things I was in some way able to let go. It still comes back. We still revisit the things that come up in our lives. But as we progress, we can develop more and better coping skills to deal with things like depression, addictions. And so even though I could stand here and tell you about how wonderful the book is and how wonderful I am, I prefer to use the book launches as an opportunity to invite other people to come and talk about the work that they do under the general umbrella term of mental health services, and people that are working in the community to help this world one day at a time and one person at a time become a better place. So I feel that using the book launches in this way is a much better opportunity than just to talk about me and my book. That said, there will be book signings afterwards and people are welcome to have tea and coffee. And I'd like to firstly welcome Desi to come up and say a few words. Take your time, sir, there's no rush. as one of our guest speakers today. Thank you so much for coming, everybody.